Heather.
Hi, I'm Jeanette.
And today we are continuing. We haven't done a deep dive into an Epcot pavilion actually in like months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In real life, it's been a couple months. And we only have, I think, 1 or 2 left at this point.
Okay.
But today we're going to be talking about the United Kingdom Pavilion. So very excited. But there wasn't as much of the United Kingdom Pavilion as there was in some of the other buildings, or some of the other pavilions rather. Mm-hmm. The United Kingdom Pavilion is a cultural pavilion, of course, representing 4 countries within the island of the same country, which of course is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. It is located between the France and Canada pavilions along the World Showcase Lagoon. So if you're facing the World Showcase, it's like the second pavilion to the right, essentially. It goes Canada and then the UK, then there's a little bridge, and then there's France. So again, just some other like history just about it, because again, there isn't as much about this pavilion as I found in other pavilions, but the main architecture and decor of the pavilion is that most of the buildings are kind of the old world cottage kind of style. They kind of represent the architectural history of both the United Kingdom, again, all of the countries within the United Kingdom, ranging from the Hampton Court Palace to another inspired by Anne Hathaway's cottage. There's also Tudor, Georgian, and Victoria styles present as well. And there's also an English garden with a hedge maze and also the band in the back too. Right. So they kind of have a lot of mix. And when you sort of walk around the pavilion, I would say the same things, that there's quite the mix of different types of buildings that sort of around there.
Yes.
You can kind of feel that too. But it's funny because at the same time, even though it's a mix, it all looks the same. Like it looks like
it all fits in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It all looks like it's from the same country. Yeah. So it's like I kind of like that about that in that sense, that like even if you're from like a rural part of the UK versus like the city part of the UK, it still feels very, very culturally English in that sense. So I kind of like that. They also have the Gilbert Scott telephone boxes that line the Rose Garden near the pavilion's restrooms. Sometimes I think back in the day they used to be real telephone boxes.
There used to be real telephones, yeah.
Now they are no longer real. They are fake telephones. I think you can call something on it. Like there are buttons that you can press.
Oh, really?
And you can kind of pick up the phone.
One.
Yeah, Ted did recently actually. He tried to call just to see, which is kind of funny. But they have a few of those. They also have the traditional British mailbox there as well, which I thought was kind of cool. And they also again have some of like the traditional spires and the traditional things that you see in England as well. So again, kind of like the other pavilions, very authentic to like what you would see in the real country as well, which is pretty cool. There's also the butterfly herb garden, and there's also, I think I said this, the traditional hedge maze as well. Now the hedge maze is not as tall as actual hedge mazes are in England. It's a very short hedge maze, but it is kind of fun if you do walk through it. It could be kind of thrilling to do. So our 2019 at the D23 Expo, it was announced that the United Kingdom Pavilion would be expanded to include the Disney Mary Poppins film. So they're essentially going to build a structure that would house kind of like a mini land within the land that was going to be Cherry Tree Lane. So and it was going to have, like, in the facade, it was going to be all Mary Poppins themed. It was going to have Cherry Tree Lane. There was going to be a ride that was going to be Mary Poppins themed inside of it. I think there's also supposed to be like a quick service too that was going to be in there too. But the whole project was postponed indefinitely during COVID. So after COVID, the whole thing was put on hold, and it has been years and nothing has really been said. So in 2023, and actually just recently too, there was some leaked concept art that came out from like Imagineers portfolios, and one of the ideas was going to be like an indoor teacups type ride. That again, so that would have been like Mary Poppins teacups type themed. But anyway though, so that was all rumored that the Mary Poppins expansion was going to come. Now of course, again, in recent years there has been no word of this no word of this picking up again.
Yeah.
And some people still reference this as well too, say like what happened to this, how come, like, and sometimes people get real like on, especially if you're on like Twitter for instance, everyone's saying it's like, oh, remember when Disney said they're going to do this, and then they just like ignored it and pretended it never existed. I'm like, actually they postponed it because of COVID, and then they never picked it back up. So it's just like,
and there's so many other things that they're doing that, I mean, they're doing a lot now all at once.
Yeah, I do wonder if they're ever going to expand the United Kingdom Pavilion like in the future
have
or something
room
like that. Because again, they clearly had the plans. They were going to do it before COVID. So I don't know, but I know too is like at this point the whole front of Epcot now is done, because that took years, right?
Yes.
Because again, this was announced when they were changing the whole front of Epcot and they were expanding all of like the World Celebration Gardens and everything. But now that's finally finished. So it's like, and now of course now they're doing the big construction in Animal Kingdom. So it's just like, all right. So
and Magic Kingdom
as well. Yeah. So again, we have
maybe when they're finished with those
2 new lands coming, but I would imagine that this one would not be as large as like building 2 new lands.
No.
So,
but they're probably maybe going to wait until they do that.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. So would be exciting though. I mean, like I'm always still rooting for another pavilion in a general sense to come.
Yeah,
so I'm always hoping for another
nice.
pavilion. Yeah. I know Brazil has always been like the rumored one for years and years, like 10 plus years. Everyone says Brazil is going to come, but alas, we're getting a South America themed land in Animal Kingdom instead. So, all right, so let's go through some dining at the United Kingdom Pavilion. So the main dining is the Rose and Crown Pub and Dining Room. It has both British style pub food and also serves a lot of British style like European and domestic brews, it says, so like beer, essentially.
Beer and Guinness and
there's
that.
dining both indoor and outdoor. Now when you're inside, it does feel like a pretty traditional pub. I've been in
English
quite
pub.
A few pubs, I would say. So
and the food's it's like an
the
English pub.
The pub itself also has like a traditional pub as well too. So you don't actually have to sit down at the restaurant. You can just stand by the bar too. It's standing room only. You can stand by the bar as well. And then also right outside too, they also have like kind of like a window bar, I guess you would call it, I suppose.
Out on the walkway in front of their outdoor terrace.
So they both have like a little, there's a cart sort of that's by the outdoor portion of Rose and Crown. And then there's the actual Yorkshire County fish shop that serves the fishing chip counter basically. And it really only has fish and chips and that's about it. But they also serve beer there as well too, out of the Yorkshire County fish. And again, there's another like beer cart, I would say, sort of closer to Rose and Crown. Yeah. Now we have not eaten at Rose and Crown.
They have a lot of room at the it's very spread out at the UK Pavilion.
Yeah, we have not really eaten at Rose and Crown in a long time. Yeah, for instance,
their menu is not conducive.
Yeah, the highlights of their menu include the Scotch egg, the shepherd's pie, and fish and chips. So,
no.
Which one of those? I was gonna say, which one of those, Mama, you get?
Dad loved Rose and Crown. Every time we went there, he loved it. He loves fish and chips. He loves his Guinness.
That egg, yeah.
He would probably like that too. Me is no, and no.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like Rose and Crown has a much smaller menu, let's say, in comparison to Raglan Road at Disney Springs. Yes. Like Raglan Road's menu, which is the same look and feel as Rose and Crown, is a lot bigger, I would say.
Raglan Road has more of an international flair to their menu.
Yeah, because anyone can go to Raglan Road, whereas you have to
as
be in
opposed to the UK Rose and Crown is a traditional English pub. And like I said, if you don't like English pub food, don't go to Rose and Crown.
Yeah. I will say, because Rose and Crown is right along, the restaurant itself is right along the lagoon, it does have really good firework viewing spots.
Yeah, so it gets crowded.
Yeah, so a lot of people will want to go there for the fireworks or like eat at the restaurant specifically for the fireworks.
Right.
So also here too, it said it highlighted that at Rose and Crown, they offer for dessert the Jaffa cakes, a banoffee pie, and a rhubarb tart, which I thought was really fun. Because Jaffa cakes are a really huge thing in the UK, which I think is interesting in the sense that I've never had a Jaffa cake. I also don't think I'd like it either. So do you know what that is? Jaffa cake?
I don't know what that is.
It's basically a little cake that has like orange in it. It's like orange. Oh, no. Sort of like orange jelly, I guess, I suppose.
No, that wouldn't interest me at all.
Yeah, there's a really...
I'm telling you, I didn't like the food when I was in the regular English pubs. I don't want to eat it in Disney.
I know. There's a really funny clip of Tom Holland and Zendaya, because Tom Holland's from the UK, and the interview is giving them Jaffa cakes, and he's like, oh, nice. And Zendaya's saying, he's like, well, what is it? And he's like, it's a Jaffa cake. And she's like, well, what's inside of it? He says it's orange. And she makes a face. She's like, oh, like, I don't like orange. He's like, no, like, it's quite good. It's like, it's kind of like a jelly consistency. She's like, no, that's making it worse. Yeah. It's just like, I'm not going to like it.
Well, when you were kids, they had a kids menu and they had prime rib. So, we could go there and sit there and have the feel of it. Their menu has changed over the years, but it hasn't gotten any better. So,
Well, better for us, I would say. So.
Yes.
But yeah, the other thing I thought was interesting too was the rhubarb tart, because that's another item too that's not very popular in America.
Here, yeah.
It's like, I feel like strawberry and rhubarb pie can be popular-ish, but most people don't even know what rhubarb is. No. I feel like in the U.S. So.
No, but they do cater to the British, and I think that's the whole idea of the pavilion.
No, yeah, which I definitely like a lot. So it's definitely good. I know a lot of people really love it, especially if, again, you like that type of food. Right. So again, it's like I am vegetarian, so as a vegetarian, sometimes it's hard for me to eat
fish and chips is a big draw for a lot of people, and I have to tell you,
because it's very simple.
If I was forced to eat fish and chips, I could. I mean, it's not that I don't eat it.
Forced to eat it. Wow. Okay. But really selling the fish and chips.
But I have to say that I've been very picky about my fish and chips. I mean, I had fish and chips in Savannah that were out of this world because we sat at a bar that didn't have anything else on the menu I could eat. It was an Australian bar, no less. And I ordered the fish and chips figuring
Australia was a territory.
Right. So I figured I'd just take the coating off. But when it came, the coating was so thin and so delicious. But see, most fish and chips have that thick, like floury coating on it and deep fried. So by the time after you eat it, you don't want to get up from the table. So for me, that's too heavy food. But a lot of people love the fish and chips.
Yeah. I've never had fish and chips actually, even before.
It actually can be very good.
Yeah. It's like, I never really liked fish when I was a kid, and I'm technically allergic to codfish.
And that's what it is.
I was going to say, most fish and chips is codfish. So I could have never had fish and chips even as a kid. So
like I said,
very random allergy for me too.
It could be good, but no.
And here comes my father, the Irishman himself.
The Irishman himself coming home from playing golf.
Let's get to the shopping now.
Okay.
So there are a lot of shops in the British Pavilion. So they sell a lot of different items. So first up we're going to go back to front, I think is how this list is. First up, we got the Soldier. The Toy Soldier sells toys and memorabilia.
Oh, yeah, that's in the back.
That's all associated with the UK, and it features a lot of characters, I would say. So usually they have a lot of characters. The main characters I feel like they are featuring right now is Winnie the Pooh characters. So you find all the Winnie the Pooh merchandise.
I love going to the UK because of that.
Yeah, from like clothing to like stuffies to everything basically they have. They also recently, when I was there last, they had a lot of Mary Poppins themed items as well here. And what was the other one? Yeah, so specifically in this one, Winnie the Pooh and Mary Poppins were the ones I see the most, but it says online that they can have items as well from Paddington Bear, Sherlock, Thomas the Tank Engine, and Peppa Pig too. Apparently sometimes have some like, again, like the kitty items are usually what's in here. So again, recently I haven't seen any of that. I usually just see Winnie the Pooh, but recently I did see Mary Poppins as well. So, all right, so the next store is the Crown and Crest. So the Crown and Crest has a lot of the traditional, I would say, British type of merchandise. So a lot of the keep calm and carry on, like that classic old, British things. They have books, they have shirts, like, like the English shirts and cups and everything, the mugs, a lot of that type of items, I would say overall. And it sort of crosses over a little bit into the Historic Research Center, which is kind of more of like a hallway is what I would say.
Right.
And that hallway has all of the swords. Yeah.
Right.
So the swords and the knives, which you actually can purchase swords and knives. You can also look up your last name too, and they will put they'll create the crest sort of for you. So like that plaque with your name, crest and everything, and they can engrave your names on it and stuff like that. So these two stores are connected. And because of that, the main store, the Crown and Crest, also has a lot of, I would say, name type of items, like name shirts and everything, or even like Guinness type items.
Right, Guinness items and different things like that. A lot of wool items.
Yeah, a lot of the wool items.
Plaid, a lot of wool, Shetland wool, things like that.
Sometimes they'll also have other British, items too, like things for the Beatles, things for Doctor Who, like other more contemporary, I would say, type of merchandise, like not for kids necessarily, but for adults. So they have things like that too, which is also pretty cool to see. Oh, things for Sherlock too, I think is also in this area. Sorry, also connected to this store as well is the Sportsman Shop. So the Sportsman Shop has all the football team apparel, which of course is what we call in America soccer. So all of the football shirts, all of the, I think they call them
rugby.
kits, the shirt,
rugby.
the football kits is what they call them. Yeah, the rugby kits. So all that stuff is in the Sportsman Shop, and you can get any various team book, things like that. And also in this store too, they have a really small section that has British candy, which is really cool.
Right.
I would say that's
cool.
newer within the last couple of years. I would say they used to not have that, but now in all the pavilions feature candy and like little snacks from the country.
They feature food and candy from their own countries.
But I point this one out specifically because I remember the first time I saw a Mars bar in there, I was surprised because I hadn't seen a Mars bar sold in the US at all up until this point. And so I saw there, I was like, wow, that's crazy. I haven't seen a Mars bar in the US. Now they're sold very sparsely in the US. Sometimes you see them, but really not popular at all in the US overall. But again, some little, I'm sure they probably sell the Jaffa cakes too. Maybe we should have gotten one.
Maybe. I didn't know what they were, so I wouldn't have ever paid attention.
So, all right, then across the way we have the Tea Caddy. So the Tea Caddy is basically the tea store, I would say, overall. So it has all of the teas you could possibly imagine.
Anything you need to do with tea.
Yeah, mainly to do with the Twinings
and cookies.
Tea. Yeah, all the little biscuits, as they call them.
Yeah, shortbreads.
That's the hardest part. I used to work for a company that was UK based, so many of my coworkers were from the UK, and us trying to determine what a biscuit was took a long time, right? Because they used the term for biscuit for like cookies, in my opinion, but it's like we don't call them cookies. But in English, I'm like, what would we call them? I'm like, I guess I would call them a cookie.
Cookies.
I don't know, but they call them biscuits, which is really funny. And I was trying to explain to one of my coworkers what a s'more is in America with the graham cracker, the marshmallow, and the chocolate. But I didn't know what a graham cracker was called in the UK. I was trying to Google it, and I couldn't find like what they would call it.
Graham crackers.
Well, they consider that also to be a biscuit because usually graham crackers are a little sweet. If you get the honey ones, especially, or even the cinnamon ones are a little bit sweet. So that is still a biscuit, but it's not the same as like a digestive biscuit. So I didn't know how to describe how you make. I was like, I don't know what a graham cracker is in other parts of the world. So.
Thin, crispy biscuit.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny when you think about stuff like that. So yeah, but the Tea Caddy, all the things to do with tea. They also have all the loose leaf teas, all the little teapots, everything.
Right. Anything to do with tea.
And they also have a lot of Disney themed tea items too. So it's like you can get like the Alice in Wonderland, a lot of like tea items there. That's really cool to see. And also again, a lot of British stuff. I remember when we were there one time, it was right after King Charles was crowned. His face was on everything. It was so funny. It was like if you want a King Charles head on like an ornament on a teacup thing, it's everything. It was all over. They also used to sell little plushy corgis too in the store.
Oh, that's right. They used to have the little plush corgis
like the
for
official,
the Queen.
Yeah, it's like the official English dog, which I think is so funny. But yeah, just a popular dog because of the Queen. And then also in the back part of the store, which I don't have a specific name for the store, but the feeling of the store changes from like the dark wood of the tea shop into this much lighter white wood and like kind of like
an
light,
afternoon tea kind of place.
Yeah, kind of like afternoon tea. And this is where they have a lot of the Alice in Wonderland themed items. So they have a lot of Alice in Wonderland themed items. They have shirts,
light colored dresses and shirts and things, and
so again, just more things to purchase essentially. So yeah, but very cute as well in that store too. I always love going in there because I do love Alice in Wonderland. She's been one of my favorite movies and characters for a very, very long time. So it's always fun to see her. And I love that she has like her own little section. So, but also in the store too, well, also in Crest and Crown, they do have the Disney UK Pavilion items as well. I think in recent years, they've really amped that up too. I feel like before
I think every pavilion is amped there.
That's what I'm saying. Every pavilion now has like more stuff with like Mickey and Minnie on it. And you can get like Mickey and Minnie with like the UK stuff on it, or dressed up in like UK clothes or something like that.
Because people
like,
want that. People who come from the UK want to go back with Minnie and Minnie dressed in their
like it's
UK
cute
stuff.
and you like it. So I do like that a lot too. I actually wish the China Pavilion had more of that, because the China Pavilion is the only pavilion that doesn't have a lot of that. Same thing with Japan. Japan doesn't have a lot of that. So I don't maybe know what the licensing rights on certain things are. Like things ebb and flow, of course, with licensing rights. But yeah, but China and Japan are the only two that don't, which is ironic, because they would probably be the two that I would like. China specifically would be the one I'd probably purchase something from.
I want Minnie dressed up in that kimono.
Yeah, of course. Well, kimono is Japanese.
In Japan.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I would love something like that. But yeah, of course, the one pavilion I want, they don't have. But in all the pavilions, I agree. It's like in recent years, they've really amped up
started
the
to
Disney
put more
characters
Disney
with the cultural garments or the cultural items or whatever, which I like. I think it's good. And I like seeing it in the British stuff too. And I know, like you said, it is a big draw. One of my favorite Disney vloggers is Adam Hatton. And Adam Hatton is from the UK. And he purchased one of the new items that is like, it was like the UK. It wasn't a Spirit jersey. I think it was a sweatshirt or something. They said UK and it had Mickey on it. He's like, yeah, have to get this.
Yes.
You know, it's like,
I'm telling you, people
exciting.
would do it. I mean, I think they'd make a fortune.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, all right, let's get into, and then also the last thing, there is a UK cart, they call it. So it's just a cart that's outside, and they sell a lot of, I would say, Disney items, like the lanyards, the pins, things like that.
Every pavilion has that outside.
Yeah, so just like the classic, like more Disney items.
Stuff.
Of course, there are always like pins for all the pavilions. I don't have a pin from every pavilion. I have pins from Morocco and China are the main two that I really wanted and needed. I don't need a pin from every pavilion. So, but it's funny because sometimes when you see the new pins for the pavilions, you are a little tempted. You're like, because some of them are really cute when you see them. So some entertainment. So the main entertainment in this pavilion is the British Revolution, which is a band that plays British rock music from the 1960s through the 1990s. Now, this pavilion is actually quite large. I would say it's one of the larger pavilions because you have your main section of the pavilion along the showcase. Then you enter, you have the stores on both sides. Then all the way in the back, there's the garden. And then with the garden, there's seating and there's a stage. So there's a full-on stage.
I'm telling you, they have a lot of room.
I feel like that stage is very well hidden because sometimes when you're walking just on the normal path, you can't even always hear the music, or you know there's a concert going on, but it's not very loud. Like it's very well contained the way the audio, I guess, works in that area. But yeah, but I would say they're the main entertainment in this pavilion. There's no other shows. There's no other, things to watch, things to like. There's no rides or anything like that. So it's just mainly the British Revolution. Now there are a lot of Disney characters that you can see though at this pavilion. So because I think that's also because there's a lot of Disney movies that took place in England, right? That took place in the UK. Some of the characters include like all the characters from Mary Poppins, characters from Alice in Wonderland, characters from Peter Pan, characters from Winnie the Pooh, as well as every once in a while, apparently Merida's also here too. I think she has a little meet and greet too back there, which makes sense because she's Scottish. So because it's the whole UK, everyone has meet and greets here.
Everybody.
Yeah, for instance, for Peter Pan, I've seen Peter Pan before. I've seen Tinkerbell. I've seen Alice. I've seen the Mad Hatter. I've seen Mary Poppins and Bert before too in the past. I've seen Pooh walking around, although Pooh normally has his meet and greet in different areas of the parks, but apparently sometimes he does do meet and greets in this area. So again, lots of meet and greets to be had in this area, which I think is pretty cool and pretty exciting. And also for a former entertainment that they used to have was the Hat Ladies. The Hat Lady was a piano player in Rose and Crown. So I believe they still have live music in Rose and Crown.
They? Okay, they didn't have it when we were there last time.
Yeah, there is a piano that's in Rose and Crown that they still have live music playing. But I think the Hat Lady did like a little show, right? So she wasn't more than just like sitting playing the piano for entertainment. Like she kind of did like a little show. I think she interacted with people and stuff too. But that has gone away. So, all right. Now, according to Wikipedia, these are the current attractions. There is only one attraction, according to Wikipedia, that is an attraction. And that is the DuckTales World Showcase Adventure that started in 2022. And the official, I say in quotes, official former attractions was the Kim Possible World Showcase Adventure and then the Agent P's World Showcase Adventure, which all the pavilions have the World Showcase Adventure. So it's nothing really too crazy there.
No, they're just included.
But officially that is considered an attraction, which is funny because I wouldn't consider that an attraction, but whenever we do these pavilion deep dives, that is considered an attraction.
People who go there, they consider it an attraction because keeps the kids busy. Yeah. I mean, they're doing a game, technically.
But one thing that I would consider an attraction that was not on this website, but I just know about, is the English Tea Garden presented by Twinings. And this is just an informational tour that you can do in the pavilion. It is, I would say, I guess complimentary is the best way to put it. You don't pay extra money to do this tour. It's very short. Apparently, it's only about 15 minutes or so. But there is when I talked about the butterfly herb garden, this is where it is. So all those little herbs and all those teas,
I learned something
you can go there and the cast member will kind of give you just a little tour about the little tea garden, different teas, how long they steep for. Again, just like nothing too crazy, but very cute though indeed. Especially if you're a big tea person. Now, they do this every single day. However, the times can change every day. And because it's first come, first serve, if you really want to do the tea tour, you have to get there early to make sure you get a spot. And so they said they often do it in the afternoon. So like 1, 3:30, 5:30. And the cast member will also let you know as well that, it's like what time if they can squeeze in another tour or something like that, or if they're like full for the day. And again, because they're complimentary, again, it's like they can fill up really fast because a lot of people just want to do the tea tour. However, you can do the tea tour on your own too, because as you walk around that garden, there are signs along all of the bushes.
That'll tell you everything.
Yeah, and like the trimming kind of like
I've
they're
never gone
shaped
through the garden.
Yeah, they're like shaped to look like teacups too. So again, you can kind of do it yourself too, and you can read it all yourself.
I've not walked through that garden. I'm not a big tea person, but I'd like to see the garden.
Yeah, I'm also not a tea person either. And then something else that is also new as well, because a lot of gardens, right? The English love their gardens, is the Shakespeare garden. So this garden took a really long time for the Epcot to put in, considering after it was done. But this is the little garden that's just right outside of the restrooms in the UK Pavilion, right by where the telephone booths are.
Okay, yeah.
And these gardens, initially it was featured for a flower and garden festival, but now it is a year-round garden, and it's the Shakespeare garden, and it features all of the different flowers that are mentioned in Shakespeare plays.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So as you walk around there, I have a few photos of that as well, actually. But as you walk around that garden, you just see the different flowers, and there'll be little signs saying like this is what the flower is, and this is like this is what show is referred to.
We'll have to look at that next time.
And sometimes it'll have the line that the character said, especially because most of it's plays. So it'll have the line of like which character said what in reference to it.
See,
or,
it
like,
just proves that there's just so much to do and look at that. So I haven't even seen that.
So those are two unofficial attractions at this pavilion because it's technically not really a lot of places online. You kind of just have to know that it's there. Or again, almost like the Shakespeare garden, that's kind of just decor to a certain extent. So as you just walk around, that's the decor of the garden. So all right, and then of course for upcoming attractions, technically the Mary Poppins attraction is considered an upcoming attraction officially because it was technically announced, even though it's been on hold indefinitely. So I suppose one day we will see. But yeah, that was all I really had on the UK pavilion. There wasn't as much history in this pavilion as some of the other pavilions had. There wasn't anything too crazy about it. So it was just fully just created from Epcot and then, just plopped down, I would say overall. But definitely a really good pavilion. I feel like it's not necessarily my favorite pavilion overall, but I do really like it a lot. I will say it is my fiance's favorite pavilion just because he likes to drink beer. So he really liked the UK pavilion.
Like the beer there.
He also is mainly English as well too when he did 23andMe. So he's predominantly English. So that is, in quotes, his culture, as we can say. If we can say China is my culture, we can say that's his culture, right? Whereas the Italy pavilion is my mom's culture because she's probably 100% Italian.
Oh, that's it. Yep.
All right. Now, this is normally where we get into a little bit of Disney news, but this is a very pre-recorded episode just because there's a lot going on in the month of August and September. So we'll have, I would say, no crazy Disney news. I think the biggest Disney news is that the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party will be in full swing at this point.
Right.
So I imagine there's a lot of Halloween treats and a lot of Halloween, merchandise in the parks, which is really fun to see. So, all right, but let's get to some Disney birthdays instead. So up first, there's no Disney birthdays, but on September 12th, 2005 is when Disneyland Hong Kong first opened. So very excited for Disneyland Hong Kong. So happy birthday to Disneyland Hong Kong or Hong Kong Disneyland. I always forget which one word comes first, but and then also on September 11th is my Aunt Antoinette's birthday. So happy birthday as well to my Aunt Antoinette. And that leaves us with our final segment of the podcast, our Disney memories. Do you have a Disney memory for today's podcast?
Yeah, because when you were talking about the stores, I remember that the skies opened up one time.
Yeah, I was thinking that was going to be my memory too.
Yes, we got stuck in oh God, it was horrible. And we were in the UK, we were by the UK Pavilion, and we walked into that the tea shop, the white part of it, the light part of it, and they have these big windows.
Yeah, like the afternoon
so
tea
you could see the rain falling, and they have like these big window like sills, so they were like almost like window seats, and we sat down in there and just waited for the rain to stop. But it was so cool because it was such a pretty atmosphere with all the lightness and the flowers and the stuff, and the rain just like coming down in drenches. And we waited till it stopped, and then we went out.
Yeah.
So that was my memory of that.
I remember that too. I was going to say the same thing. I feel like we've gotten caught in the UK Pavilion multiple times when it rained. So I remember one of the times when it was raining, I was standing, I think we had just gotten caught in the rain because I couldn't go inside because the inside was like too crowded. So I was standing outside by the butterfly herb garden. So I was standing under there, just under the awning, still getting wet because it was like dripping down on me still. But I remember looking at the butterfly herb garden. That's when I really saw all the tea, like little signs around. And I was just like, oh wow, this is like where all the tea signs are and everything. That's pretty cool. But they were all too far away for me to read from where I was standing. So I didn't read them. And then again, we've never done the tea tour. Neither of us really drink. Well, actually, no, you drink tea all the time.
I drink iced tea.
That's still tea.
Yes. I only drink black tea. I'm not.
I was going to say, like, wait, you drink tea all the time.
I drink black iced tea. That's it. No sugar, no nothing, no milk, no nothing. Just black iced tea. I love it.
That still counts, though.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
I'm not a hot tea drinker. Like, I don't need a little cup and a little thing.
Yeah, I don't drink tea at all. Sometimes I have tasted sweet tea in the past, like the sweet tea, like the southern sweet tea.
Oh, yeah.
And that's quite good just because it's quite sugary. So that's kind of why I like it. But yeah, southern sweet tea is always going to be good. It always hits for sure. And I know too, where we live, the Wawa sweet tea and lemonade is very popular. Yeah,
okay.
especially where I live in Pennsylvania.
I like oolong tea, which is the Chinese tea.
Yeah.
I even like that cold. Like I said, I like it cold. The only time I would ever drink hot Chinese tea is if I'm sitting in a Chinese restaurant. For some reason, when they pour it in those little cups, they just look so good. And that I have to put sugar in because I don't like hot tea without sugar in it. But I'll drink iced tea all day long with no sugar in it. So
I think my struggle with tea is that whenever especially hot tea, it doesn't really taste like anything to me. It's like
just sugar water.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't taste like anything. It's like, it's almost like,
I just like drinking it out of those little cups in the Chinese restaurant. It's very rare we go. These days, Chinese restaurants they're not as popular as they used to be. So you don't really get to sit down and have them pour it in those little cups.
I feel like I should try iced tea again because I don't really drink iced tea either. But again, it's like I probably would like that because I don't really drink anything hot,
need the
honestly.
caffeine.
Yeah, I don't drink really anything hot, honestly, other than maybe hot chocolate every once in a while.
I have one cup of coffee in the morning and then that's it.
Yeah, so but anyway though. All right, so well, that was our Disney memory, right? Well, all right, well, thanks for everyone for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. Let us know, is the UK Pavilion one of your favorites? Do you go to Rose and Crown every single time you go? Should we go back again? Like, would you recommend it? Again, I haven't been there in years, but maybe it is someplace that we should go back. Should I take my fiance there, my soon-to-be husband there, because he probably would really love Rose and Crown just because he likes going to those types of locations. So definitely let us know what you think of the UK Pavilion. And then also make sure you give us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or leave a comment down below if you're watching on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to our dedicated YouTube channel for the Mother-Daughter Disney podcast. I will have a dedicated Instagram post on our Instagram, which is almost Amanda X. So make sure you also let us know on Instagram what you think of